Hello everyone and welcome to another update of my hashtag 365 days of samples. So as always, I start with the products that I would not purchase the full size of, so let's just get started. So the first thing I have here is from CNDC. This is Sensations. It's a vanilla shimmer hand and body lotion. So I'm not going to repeat myself here. If you've been watching my channel for any length of time, you will know that I am not a hand and body lotion person. I don't like the feeling of body lotion on my anywhere. I just don't like it because usually it just sits on top of my skin because my skin is not very dry. I've found very few that I actually like, and this one was pretty sticky. It smelled wonderful. I love vanilla scent, and the shimmer was a really nice touch. I love to be shimmery, I love to be glittery. I just found that this sat on my skin for a very, very long time, and I would just end up wiping it away after a little while, and by a little while I mean like 15 minutes when I just couldn't take it anymore. I just don't think body lotion should take that long to absorb into the skin. But like I said, I don't have really dry skin, so lotions just sit on the surface. So this is one that I would pass on. And the second product that I would not purchase the full size of is from Alchemist. I finally finished this guy. This is the Power Recharging Night Pressed Serum. So I did work on this for a long time. I definitely had enough in this little jar to tell me whether or not it would work for me. I used it for well over a month, and I just needed a little tiny bit at a time because it's a pressed serum. I've compared it before to like pressed coconut oil, where it's a solid, but then with the warmth of your fingers it melts into more of a liquid, and that's just exactly what this is. And I loved that sort of texture and that feeling, but in terms of the product itself, I just wasn't impressed. I've used other products, specific nighttime products, and just other products that have worked so much better for my skin and that I've seen those results and just been so impressed. This one, it was just sort of a, it really just, I don't think it made that much of a difference. My skin has definitely been behaving a lot better recently, but I really don't think this has anything to do with it. I haven't used it for the last few days, and honestly, my skin has been fine. I've been using my favorite face oil in the nighttime instead, and I feel like my skin reacts really well to that. So they're just, there really isn't a whole lot to say because it just did not work that well for me. It didn't do anything damaging to my skin, but I just didn't see a major improvement. I do have a try again product. So I had this set of concealers from Tarte. So I did only use the lightest shade. It was Fair Light, so I used that one, and it was too dark for me, but I wanted to see what the formula was like. That's what I always do when I get samples like this, because 9 times out of 10 I don't get like the correct or close color match for me. So I just try what I can to see if I can get an idea of whether or not it's something that I'd be interested in trying a different shade. And I definitely would be. So there is only one shade lighter than Fair Light, and that is Fair. I'm definitely willing to give that a shot. If I ever happen to be in a Sephora again, I would try it out, because I've been looking for a thicker, stiffer concealer. I really only have one spot that I need that for, and that's on my forehead because I have psoriasis and it gets really red, and I do use a green concealer to try and cover everything up, and I just find like with my foundation it's not enough, and that spot always peeks through. So I'm always trying to mix things together to find something that will stay in place. I've had a really hard time finding something that is stiff enough and thick enough but doesn't look too obvious, because sometimes with some concealers, if they're thick enough, then it's just really obvious you've got concealer there. So this stuff seemed pretty nice though, from what I could tell from using it. So I did use it on that area to kind of see what the wear would be like. And then I used it at a couple other spots on my face where I would normally use that kind of concealer, just to conceal a little bit of redness. Like I have a little bit of scarring on my chin, and it seemed to hold up pretty well, which was pretty impressive. I really hadn't heard anything about this concealer before. When I hear of Tarte concealers, I always hear of Shape Tape, which is not easily accessible in Canada, so I don't have that. So I really hadn't heard anything about the Amazonian clay 12-hour concealer, but I really like the Amazonian Clay foundation from Tarte. I actually have repurchased that. That's how much I liked it. So this seems like it could be a really good option to fill the need that I have for a concealer for that specific spot on my face. So I will try the lightest shade and see if it's a correct match and works for what I need it for. And if it does, then I would definitely purchase it. Because like I said, when I tested it, it seemed to really hold in place. So that's been my main concern, is just not having something that's going to disappear too easily. So if the fair shade matches, I would definitely buy it. I do have one product that I need to declutter because it's expired, and that's the NARS lip gloss in Turkish Delight. I'm not surprised because I've had this for a long time. I distinctly remember bringing it in my purse to go see the Billy Joel concert, which I saw on my trip to the States back in the summer of 2014. Yeah, so this is an old lip gloss, and I'm not surprised that it's no longer any good. Like, it just doesn't smell right and the texture seems a little gritty. But I do remember liking this before. I remember it being really smooth and not sticky, which is why I took it with me, is because I liked it. The color is very light, as you can kind of tell from the tube. It's not an opaque lip gloss, but it definitely makes your lips look lighter. So I'm not putting this in any real particular category because I didn't get a chance to try it, and it's not something that I definitely wouldn't use in the future, but it's not something I'm planning to purchase for sure. I'm not planning on purchasing any lip glosses right now, or really any lip products in general, but if I happen to get another deluxe size of this, I would definitely try it. It really does suck that it's expired, and I'm not surprised though. I've been encountering that a little bit with some of the lip products that I have, just because I've had them for so long, and instead of using things, I just accumulated more. So, you know, the moral of the story there is don't do that. And then the last thing is something that I'm moving out of this project. This is an eyeshadow from NARS. Is this even a deluxe size? I feel like this is pretty large to be a deluxe size. I feel like this might actually just be a full-size eyeshadow. This is the Dual Intensity eyeshadow in Himalaya. This is gorgeous. This is the kind of shade that I love to wear on my lid, although I'm not wearing a lot of shades like this right now unless they happen to be in palettes that I'm panning, because that's my focus right now, not on my individual shadows at the moment. So I would definitely revisit this and maybe try and hit pan on it. I do have a pretty good dent on it already. It's a really pretty, almost rose gold kind of color, and I love shadows that have that metallic finish, and anything that I can use wet that gives me that really intense foiled finish, I'm extra crazy about. So I'm not going to keep this in this project because I just know I won't work on it as much as the things that I'm working on for my Pan That palette and my Project Pan Porn. So that's why I'm pulling the eyeshadow out now. So that brings me to the remaining 5 products that I have in this challenge. The ModelCo Highlighting Trio. I'm only working on one shade in this, as I've said for the last couple of updates. That is the Champagne shade. So I have finally hit pan on that shade. Working on it slowly but surely. As I've said many times already, I just layer it underneath whatever powder highlight I've been wearing. It's kind of a pain in the butt because I really just don't like doing it, but I'm this close to finishing that shade, so I'm just going to keep working on it. Next is the First Aid Beauty Ultra Repair Cream. It's intense hydration for dry, parched skin. It does say you can use this all over your body. I've mostly been using it on my face and a little bit on my neck, and usually it's like my daytime kind of moisturizer, so I'm making some decent progress with this stuff. I'm still working on the Dr. Brandt Needles No More 3D Filler Mask. I do have some good visible progress on this. I haven't been using it that much, and I've mostly just been using it on my forehead, just trying to prevent any wrinkles from happening there. My birthday's coming up soon, so I'm starting to get extra paranoid about age stuff. Next, the Elizabeth & James Nirvana Black Rollerball. I've been trying to use this as much as possible because I really want to finish it soon, because it's such a cooler weather fragrance for me that I know in a month or so, when we actually finally experience spring, I'm not going to want to use that. And then the little blush / bronzer from the Balm Take A Dip. I've only used this a couple times and I'm not entirely sold on it. I am wearing it as my blush right now. I don't know. I don't know, I'm not entirely sold on it either way, which is why I still am keeping it in here, because I want to try it a little bit more. I do remember someone telling me that they used it as like a crease shade and that it worked really well for them, and I haven't gotten around to trying it that way because I forgot, but I just remembered. So now I'm gonna have to remember to do that and just try it out more as a blush and see if it's something that I really like. I'm just not sure. The packaging is really cute. It feels like a shade that I would like, but it's not like I'm overwhelmed with love for it or anything. So I'm gonna try it for the next 2 weeks and make my mind up. Okay, so here is the sample box, and I am going to choose 5 more samples. So the first thing I have here is from Becca, and this is 2 face primers. It's the First Light priming filter, which I used pretty recently and really liked, and the Backlight priming filter, which I'm really excited to try. The second thing that I am picking is from Mercier. This is the Matte Radiance Baked Powder Highlight in 01. So that's what that looks like. Product number 3 is from Tarte. This is a blush in the shade Mirage. The fourth product is from DevaCurl, and it's the It's That Good SuperCream Coconut Curl Styler. And the last product that I am choosing is from Briogeo, and it's the Curl Charisma Rice, Amino, and Quinoa Frizz Control Gel. You know, I feel like actually picking a couple more things, so I think I'm going to pick 2 more products. So let's see. We've got from Pop Beauty, this is the Sunkissed Bronzer in Secret Sunshine. And the real last product is going to be from So Susan. This is the Rose Quartet. It's a lip and cheek cream. So it's got 4 shades. Alright, so that is everything for this update. All of the products that I am working on will be listed in my description box. I always try and keep that updated, just in case you are wondering. So if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, make sure to let me know and I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can. I hope you guys all have a wonderful week. I will see you next Sunday for Lipstick Roulette, and in 2 weeks' time for another hashtag 365 days of samples. Thank you guys so much for spending some time with me today. I really, really appreciate it, and I hope I will see you in my next video. Bye.